The meta is constantly changing in Marvel Strike Force, so the best and worst teams are always evolving, and in this video, I'm counting down the best teams in Marvel Strike Force right now. So if you're ready to count them down with me and see who is the best of the best of the best, you know what to do. Let's do this. Find that like button. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Happy hump day. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the ValleyFlyin channel. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. And if you have already subscribed, welcome back. We got at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel, and this is one that you're not gonna wanna miss. We're talking about the best teams in Marvel Strike Force right now. We got the top 10 and a bunch of honorable mentions. Now, this is not necessarily my build order that I would necessarily build these teams in. If you want to check that out, based on what we know about Apocalypse, his Horseman, his Scourge, I did that video a few weeks ago. Make sure you check that out. We're counting down the best teams regardless of game mode. So we're going to take into account in this order: Arena, then Raids, Crucible, War, and then on of some bonus points if there are a Scourge team, a Scourge unlocked team from one of these Horsemen. So without further ado, if you're ready for all of that, Valley Club, let's do this. So coming in at number 10 for August of 2022 are these guys, the New Warriors. They are a good team. They are the Mystic Raid team right now, although with other characters like Dormammu, Morgan Le Fay coming into the mix, you know, there's a lot of hybrid teams that are also pretty good. But this, along with the Eternals, was the first Mystic Raid team that you could just auto through all the raids. Now, the New Warriors, they've kind of fallen off in other game modes, but they're still very, very good in a lot of defensive teams, especially when you're talking about Cosmic Crucible and the room that has the Mystic City heroes. Well, Dagger, Cloak, they're both Mystic City heroes. And in room 4, that Mystic Amplification room, these New Warriors do very, very well and can really screw up your opponents. And they're also pretty good at ward defense as well. So very, very good team, still worth building. They are kind of falling out of the meta, but they are still very, very good. And when you're facing them, they're so annoying. Cloak, Dagger, if you don't handle them, they could do a lot of damage to your team. And Deathpool, and she could wreck your team as well if you have a lot of minions on the field and they're dying. Well, you're gonna get a lot of Deathpool attacks there. So coming in at number 10 is the New Warriors. Next Warrior team is the Web Warriors. Now, this is the Bio Raid team. They're the best solution in the Bio section right now in the Doom raids if you are there, and they can pretty much go through any raid content that you want if you have them built up enough. Now, they're also a Scourge team, so you could use them. They're the primary Scourge team, actually, for Morgan Le Fay, so you could use this team to unlock Morgan Le Fay. Very, very good team. Now, they've kind of fallen off on War and in Crucible, especially with the introduction of the Bionic Avengers, who countered this team very, very well. So I think by default, you can still place this team on War defense or on Cosmic Crucible defense, because if your opponents aren't using the Bionic Avengers or some hard counter to this team, the RNG of this team, all their dodges that they can put on themselves, all their evades, can really make it a nightmare for you. So Web Warriors are still one of the best teams in the game, but as far as their value on War and Cosmic Crucible defense, well, it is significantly reduced from what it was the last time we did this list. Next is the Secret Avengers. Now, we have this group of the Secret Avengers with Kestrel, which makes them a lot stronger. And the primary team for this skill team is not with Nick Fury, but with Shang-Chi. That is the best skill raid team right now. These 4 plus Shang-Chi, but when you're just talking about the Secret Avengers, I think you have to include Nick Fury in that, because this is the version of this team that I use on War. This is the version of the team. Actually, this team is split up based on some of the skill batteries in room 6 in Crucible, but still use a majority of this team in those game modes. But yeah, this team has really got the value for their skill raid value. They've lost a lot of value in other game modes like Crucible or War. This is a very good counter to a recent meta team, not one of the top teams, but a recent meta team in the Marauders. These guys smash them so easily with the opening stun and the charge of Kestrel, the opening stun of Sharon Carter, the charge for Kestrel countering Mr. Sinister. So this team is a very good counter, but this team is countered if you place them on defense. If you could survive that opening Kestrel attack, that XMen beat this team up very good with all the summons of Maria Hill and Nick Fury. Anything with Death Pool would work well as well, but very, very good team. They are, in my opinion, the 8th best team in the game right now. Let's move on to some other Avengers, the Young Avengers. Now, this team is also a Scourge team. This is the primary Scourge team for Rogue, and if you build these guys up, you can get Rogue as soon as your event unlocks, but they're very, very good in Crucible. That is why they made this list. They're very good in Crucible offense, trying to counter the Wakandans. They're a very good Wakandan counter, and they're very annoying on Crucible defense. Now, if you don't have the counter for this team, it can pose a lot of problems like it did last week for me. Trying to use the Weapon X, this team just does not, the Weapon X doesn't work good against this team in Crucible. But what does work well against this team is the Weapon X with Zemo. So you get 2 ability blocks, blocking Echo, blocking Squirrel Girl, and this team goes down very, very hard on defense. So I would recommend saving them for offense, using them to counter the Wakandans wherever they are, whatever room your opponent puts the Wakandans in. These Young Avengers can counter that. So very, very good team. And they were made to be a war defense team, and they're very, very annoying on war defense, although the A-Force with Dr. Doom countered this team so well. And there is some insight into the rework for the A-Force. It looks like we're gonna get a full blog post on all the reworks, what the team is supposed to be for with the reworks, post reworks. But as it is right now, before those reworks go live, A-Force can counter this team on war defense with Dr. Doom, but it's mainly Dr. Doom that does that. We'll see what happens after the reworks for A-Force, but all in all, the Young Avengers are still a very, very good team, but primarily for war defense, Crucible, and then that Scourge unlock. They're very good in a lot of game modes. So let's move on to the newest team on this list. This is the Bionic Avengers. They are smashing the raids. If you guys have them built up enough, they will smash through the tech section of the raids. They're also very, very good on War, very, very good on Crucible. I would use this team on offense rather than defense and countering teams like the Web Warriors, because you could punch up big against the Web Warriors with this team. The Web Warriors rely a lot on their dodge, but the Bionic Avengers, they have a lot of unavoidable attacks. So all the dodge, all the RNG that the Web Warriors can employ, these guys go through that. They also could beat the Marauders without Emma. I've heard they could beat the Black Order on defense as well. So yes, they are primarily on this list for their tech value, but they have a lot of other value in other game modes, primarily Crucible and in War, primarily for offense though. So let's move on to the next team, and this was the best team in the game for a long time. It is the Infinity Watch. They're kind of the jack of all trades. They're like a better version of the Wakandans, where Wakandans right now, they're a really good team. They're really good in multiple game modes. They're not really dominant in any game mode. Same goes for the Infinity Watch. They're not really dominant in Arena anymore. They're not really dominant in the raids. They never were really a raid team because of all the different tags that this team has. But in Crucible, I'm using them all the time in Crucible on offense. I know some people are using them on defense, but based on the rooms that we have, I like using them on whatever is in room 6, unless that room is just not very powered. You know, I don't want to be punching down too much and wasting this team, but they're a very good team. Also in War, this team counts as a lot of the meta War teams, especially if they're punching down, especially with big punch downs. This team could take out a lot of the meta teams. And if you're doing 2 taps, this team works very, very well because of the immunity, all their buffs that they get in the beginning of the game, or at the beginning of the match. So yes, jack of all trades is the Infinity Watch. Not really dominant anywhere, but very, very good on offense in Crucible, very, very good on offense in War. Let's move on to the Eternals, this two-person team, and this is where we start to get some arena meta in this countdown. These guys are using them in arena all the time. Use them on defense, use them on offense for most counters. You know, in arena right now, the meta is pretty set based on who the opponent has on defense. So based on who the opponent has on defense, there's about 5 or 6 teams that I'm cycling through in my save squads. The Turtles are in most of those teams, which is why they're here for their arena battle or for their arena value. But they are a Mystic Raid team along with the New Warriors. That was the first auto team in the raids for Mystic, and they are still doing that if you're in Doom 2. Also still very good in Doom 3 as well, but not as because they're not as overpowered as the rest of the characters in Doom 3 as they were in Doom 2. Not as dominant as they were, but very, very good in War, very, very good in Cosmic Crucible. I recommend them for offense for both of them. And if you're looking for efficiency in your Crucible, this team can find some teams that have very low members, like a lot of the hero Asgardians that I see, getting those flips, getting a lot of efficiency for these Eternals, also using them in War as well, countering some other teams. I see Icarus countering Dormammu a lot, because on his initial move, he could flip that disrupted, or excuse me, the X, the green X. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Let me know in the comments what that's called. I believe it is immunity. Anyway, they can counter that immunity. They flip that. They flip the defense down or the defense up. Icarus can flip all of that if he has that, and that is a good counter for Dormammu, and potentially a good Dormhold counter with these two plus whatever you need to counter what they have on defense. So Eternals, very, very good. They are like a better jack of all trades, better than the Eternals. Excuse me, better than the Infinity Watch. Jeez. All right, so good team coming in at the next level, coming in at the number 4 on the list are these guys, the Unlimited X-Men. Now, these are very, very good team as well, especially in Cosmic Crucible, where they are meant to be set. Now, I know a lot of people are using this full Unlimited X-Men team on defense. I like using this team on offense, though, against other people's Unlimited X-Men, only thing taking out Phantom X and putting in Cable for that extra speed, so you can get your Rogue to go before theirs. But Rogue is part of the arena meta as well. I mentioned I got a bunch of different teams for arena based on what my opponent has on defense. Well, Rogue is in a few of those teams there, so she is in the arena meta. Not really Gambit or any of these other characters, but Rogue is in there right now. And yeah, she could use her in the raids as well. I know with the X-Men, they're just not cutting it in these Doom 3 raids, but there are some hybrid teams that use Rogue as well and can help get you through the raids as well. I know some people are using Gambit in some of these hybrid teams for the raids, but yeah, very, very good team, especially in Crucible. I use them for offense. Most people use them for defense. Wherever you're going to use them is fine. They're also good in War. I've used them to counter the hero Asgardians and a few other teams. Mostly I'm punching down with this team, but yeah, they're very good in Crucible, very good in War as well. Let's move on to the next team, and that is this Weapon X team, a very, very good team. Very, very close, by the way, between Weapon X and the Unlimited X-Men. And I think I gave the Weapon X the nod because they have a little more value outside of just War and Crucible. And I'm talking mainly about Omega Red and Lady Deathstrike, whereas the Unlimited X-Men had Rogue. Weapon X has Omega Red and Lady Deathstrike. I know you can kind of include Gambit in there, but they're kind of like that Bishop and Jubilee, where they're both good characters. They're really good together. Gambit is not as good on his own. He's better with Rogue there. Lady Deathstrike is a standalone character, which is why I gave them nods. So very, very good on War, very good, well-rounded team. They could beat pretty much any team on War defense. There are some exceptions, but most of the teams on War defense, these also go right through. Also pretty good on Cosmic Crucible as well. Like I said, I'm using the counter the Young Avengers when I see them, except replacing Wolverine with Zemo. So very, very good there. Omega Red, like I said, is used in Arena on some of those hybrid teams that I'm seeing on defense, some of the hybrid teams that I'm seeing on offense. I don't use him personally, but I know a lot of people are using Omega Red in Arena right now with some great success. Also using him in the raids as well for that hybrid teams with the X-Men. Sometimes using Rogue, sometimes using Omega Red based on what node you're at, and very, very good character And Lady Deathstrike, one of the best tech characters in the game. And if we did not have the Bionic Avengers, or you don't have the Bionic Avengers yet, well, Lady Deathstrike is one of the best tech characters for the raid. So they got the nod over the Unlimited X-Men because of that. Let me know who you think is a little ahead for you based on this. Now, we are almost at the #1 spot. So now it is time to go over this honorable mentions. So first characters I want to mention as honorable mention are the best flex tunes in a game. We've talked about him. It is Dormammu. It is Dr. Doom. You can place them on many teams, hybrid teams, or just teams with them and 4 trash characters, and they will do very good. So Dormammu, Doom, make the honorable mentions on this list based on flex characters. The Hero Asgardians, the team that I'm taking into Scourge for War. Hopefully I'm guessing right based on what we've seen from this team and based on what we've seen in the past based on Scourge events. This is my primary build right now. The Hero Asgardians are very good on War defense, very good for War Scourge, and very good for War, and they are a Scourge team for Hulk. The Dark Hunters are another good team. They're a team that is getting a rework. We're gonna get the details about that Friday, what that is all for. Mordo looks to be going to that team very soon, but very good War team. They counter the Heroes for Hire, which is annoying War team. So Dark Hunters could do that. They're good in Cosmic Crucible as well. Elements of them because they do have some city characters that you could place in room 4 to make it annoying for your opponents. And yes, we also have the Wakandans. The Wakandans are a very good team as well. Oh, and as far as the Dark Hunters, well, they are a backup Scourge team for Morgan Le Fay. Wakandans are a kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. They're very good in all game modes, but not really dominant in every game mode as well. Even Crucible, they're countered pretty easily by the Young Avengers. So the mode that they were designed for, well, the Wakandans, they are not dominant there. The Gamma team is also honorable mentions. The only reason they are not on this list is because we don't have the full kit for Red Hulk yet. We have the full kit for the rest of the characters, and they look to be very dominant, but we don't have the full kit for Red Hulk. So they're honorable mention at this time. Once we get the kit for Red Hulk, though, that team will probably be in the top 10. And I gotta mention them. The XMen, they are the best mutant raid team in the game. But without further ado, let's move on to #1. And I think it is no surprise that the Darkhold is still the best team in Marvel Strike Force. They are the arena team. Now, granted, the arena meta is a lot of hybrid teams, so you're not seeing a full Darkhold team, but I still see Morgan Le Fay on pretty much every offense and defense team. Agatha's on some of them, Wong's on some of them, Doctor Strange is on some of them, but it's Morgan Le Fay just dominates, and this team dominates whatever mode they're in. They dominate in Cosmic Crucible, make it very tough for your opponents if you place them on defense, or you could use them to take out one of your opponent's strong defenses. There's a lot of use for this team because they're so good. Same thing with War. You could place them on War defense to make it annoying for your opponents, or you could use them on offense to take out one of the tougher rooms that your opponent has had. And yes, Morgan Le Fay, it's in that hybrid Mystic team. If you're not using the New Warriors with the Eternals, you could use some of these hybrid teams with some other Mystic characters like Morgan Le Fay, like Dormammu, and be very good in the raids. So that is it, guys. Those are the top 10. And once again, just to kind of review, New Warriors, Web Warriors, Secret Avengers, Young Avengers, Bionic Avengers, Infinity Watch, Eternals, Unlimited X-Men, Weapon X, and then top team is the Darkhold team with a lot of honorable mentions there. That is my list. Let me know if you have a different list than me. Is your top 10 a little different than I have? Did I get some of these teams wrong? Did I get them in a wrong order? Did I leave out some teams? Did I include some teams that you think are pretty trashy? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Like I said, we have at least 5 videos per week on this channel. So if you want to get all the latest news, tips, tricks, lists, and everything about Marvel Strike Force, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. I answer most of the questions right away on Twitter. So if you're not already following me on Twitter, make sure you check me out on Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. Checking out some of the sponsors down below, especially Amazon Coins and BlueStacks, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.